Hi everyone, good afternoon. Right now it is 12:45 p.m. I actually just uploaded my video on my Magical Readathon TBR, and this is gonna be my reading vlog for those books. I'm currently reading Red, White, and Royal Blue. This is for my Read a Standalone prompt. I'm on page 67, and I just gotta say that this book is like, it's very ridiculous. You really have to suspend your disbelief for this one, but it's stupidly fun. And I'm really liking all of the ridiculous banter between Alex and Henry. I think I can finish this today or maybe tomorrow. It's quite a quick read. I will report back to you if I like this book or not, but so far it's a thoroughly enjoyable read. So today is January 23rd, and I finished reading Red, White, and Royal Blue yesterday. Actually, I finished reading it at around like 6 p.m. 5 p.m. yesterday, and I've just been stewing in my thoughts on this. I thoroughly enjoyed the book. I really loved the book. It was funny, it was witty, the email exchanges, oh my gosh, between the first son and the Prince of England. I found it really enjoyable to read, even though everything that's happening is very ridiculous. Like, you really have to just go with the flow, forget about, logic in terms of like how any of this is even going to be remotely possible in real life. Just forget all of that, throw that all out of the window, and just sort of let yourself enjoy sort of the very cheesy but very fun adventures of, the first son, Alex, and the Prince of England, Henry. I really enjoyed all of their emails. Those were one of the best parts of the books for me. The first son, Alex, and Prince Henry, they sort of email each other back and forth, kind of like writing letters to each other and just going on this beautiful tangents and beautiful comparisons to history, to literature, to art. It's just so romantic. Like, it's kind of hard to like think that that would actually happen in real life, but it's just really fun to read all of those very grand declarations of love and very poetic way of expressing your emotions, but at the same time they just say, fuck, I miss you so much. So it's like a roller coaster ride in terms of the romance, and I just found it really fun. Really fun. So that was Red, White, and Royal Blue. I really enjoyed it. I think I'm definitely gonna find like a hardcover copy of this to add to my bookshelf. I don't think there's a hardcover of it available already. Is there? So if not, I'm just gonna wait until that's available. But that's Red, White, and Royal Blue, the first book in my Magical Readathon. So the next thing that I want to read, let me just check my Libby, because it depends on what's going to be due next. The next thing that I have to read is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. I'm going to read this book for the prompt, read the book cover that is red. So this one is very obviously red. I have to read it in a day. but I actually have sort of like a hack. So if you have a book that is about to expire in the library, what I do is I put it on my Kindle. I just leave it open. So for example, if I were still reading Red, White, and Royal Blue, I'm not gonna exit out of it. For example, this book is already expired. I already returned it to the library, but I can still read it because I didn't exit it yet. Okay, so I just opened up Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime in my Kindle, so now I can read this for a while, even though it's gonna be due and returned to the library tomorrow. So that's just like a library hack for you. Oh, I use the app Libby to send the books to my Kindle. So that's how I have been doing all of my reading. Oh, by the way, if you want to know all of the books that I'm reading for Magical Readathon, I have my TBR planning video already uploaded, so that will be in the cards up there. January is sort of shaping up to be a very good reading month for me, and I love that. I will get back to you when I start reading later and maybe, you know, give you my initial thoughts on it.
So I decided it's time to start new books because I have been reading one book, so I'll talk about them.
Probably. Chucky, paw? Good boy. Good boy. Good morning. Today is January 26th, Wednesday. It's about 10 in the morning, and I am on page 65. So I'm 30% of the way in Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. I'm reading this very slowly. It's a very short book. It's 226 pages overall. I could definitely just finish it in one go, but I have just been quite preoccupied with other things, and I don't want to force myself to read it, so I just read like a couple chapters every night before bed, and then maybe while waiting for stuff, like when I was waiting for something to boil when I was cooking, so I read a couple of chapters then. So I do think I'm gonna finish this definitely by tomorrow, because it's starting to get really, like, interesting isn't the right word, but I'm starting to get invested in the characters and or in the character, and what is happening with him, his thought process and all. The part that I read last night, which was chapter, it's hard to say the chapters because they are numbered after prime numbers, so it's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see what chapter this is. It's chapter 101. Chapter 101. This was the part that I was reading last night, and it's so interesting because they're talking about a famous math problem called the Monty Hall problem. If you haven't read this book, I don't think this is a spoiler of any sort. So they're talking about the Monty Hall problem, and I know of the Monty Hall problem because my university degree is in mathematics, so it's something that we have discussed. But I wasn't really aware of the anecdote that the character Christopher shared in this book. So apparently in the 1990s, this isn't a spoiler by the way, apparently in the 1990s, there's this woman called Marilyn Vos-Savant. I'm not sure if she is a professor or whatever, but she had the highest IQ in the world, and she was in the Guinness Book of World Records Hall of Fame. So she has a column where she just answered math questions sent in by readers. In September 1990, someone sent in a problem that we now know as the Monty Hall problem. If you're not familiar with the Monty Hall problem, it goes something like this. Think of yourself as like a participant in a game show, and then there are 3 doors you have to choose one of. One of the doors has a car behind it, and then the other 2 has goats. So your goal is to basically choose the door with a car behind it so that you win the car. What happens is you choose a door, the host will then open one of the other 2 doors. The host will always open the door with a goat in it. So you basically know where one of the goats are. For example, if you choose door B and then one of the goats is in door A, so the host will open door A. Then you're given the final choice of sticking with your original choice, which is door B, or switching to door C, which is the other door that the host did not open. So that's the gist of the problem. The question of the reader was, should you switch doors? Which one's better, switching or staying? The right answer is you have a higher probability of winning the car if you switch door all the time. But in this column, so Marilyn Vos-Savant, she wrote that. She wrote that you should switch all the time. And then the magazine published that. There was this huge backlash from lots of readers, both like normal readers, and then you have mathematicians, and you have this PhD holders. They just barraged Vos-Savant with basically letters saying that she's wrong, she's being stupid, that she should go read a math book, that she should not publish this kind of nonsense. So this one guy called Scott Smith, he has a PhD. I don't know what for, but he has a PhD from the University of Florida, and then he says, there is enough mathematical illiteracy in this country, and we don't need the world's highest IQ propagating more. Shame. So this person, his name is E. Ray Bobo, PhD as well, from Georgetown University. He says that you are utterly incorrect. How many irate mathematicians are needed to get you to change your mind? And then there's this guy, Kent Ford. He's from Dickinson State University, and he says, I'm in shock that after being corrected by at least 3 mathematicians, you still do not see your mistake. Yada yada yada. So basically there's a lot of these men, mostly. They basically just barrage her with letters saying that she's wrong, she's stupid. Some of them even use the words like female logic. So Savant dedicated like 2 or 3 more columns to explain her maths, but for some reason people are just still, not accepting her logic. So she even tried to explain it from a mathematics point of view using proving techniques, and then she also explained it from a visual point of view, like having some kind of diagram like this. So she definitely covered all the bases, and I think she went on to like a show and explained her thought process, and then finally people understood that what she did was right, that like her math was sound, her reasoning was sound, her logic was sound. It's not like female logic. And then so these mathematicians and whatnot, they started sending in their sorries, their apologies, their retractions of their statements. It's just so infuriating how men, especially at that time, just goes to great lengths to undermine a woman. Anyway, that was just an interesting thing that I read in this book, so I thought I would just update you on that. My goal is to finish this by tomorrow, but fingers crossed I can finish it today. Hi everyone, it is same day, but it's 4:09 p.m. and for some reason I just can't focus on reading this book, The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. I'm currently on chapter 113. Chapter 113. And I have about 150 pages left, so that's really not a lot. But I've decided to actually switch to the audiobook. So I borrowed the audiobook from the library. Thankfully, it's available already and it's not on hold. So I do plan to listen to the rest of the book instead. When I listen to audiobooks, I don't do other things. I literally just listen. Like, I close my eyes and I just listen. And I try to sort of imagine everything that's going on. I don't really like doing other things while reading books because I want to be able to really hear or understand what the author is trying to say, the words that the author is using, because those are the things that I like when it comes to reading or listening to books. So I'm literally just gonna lie down here, close my eyes, and listen to the audiobook. With podcasts, I could do other stuff, but with audiobooks, I really can't. I just have to focus on this one. There's about how many? I think I have about I have 4 hours left, so I really want to finish this today, so I will do exactly that.
Reading a book by Georgette Heyer.
Hi everyone, so I just wanted to update you a little bit on my reading for Magical Readathon, and I have about 2 hours and 31 minutes left, so I'm on chapter 179. I have made the executive decision to DNF this book. I think it was last night. I was confused as to why I was struggling a lot with reading this book or listening to this audiobook. It's not really the writing style. There was just this feeling that I got while I was reading the book, and I got curious, so I tried to research a bit. I wanted to find out if the book was some kind of reference to a real life person, or if the author has the same experiences or knows someone that has the same experiences. So what I found out was that the author did not do any prior research when writing this book. So if you're not familiar with this book, main character is hinted to have some kind of autism spectrum disorder / Asperger's syndrome. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. It's not stated explicitly, but he wrote the character to have some of the, I guess, mannerisms, some of the tendencies of people who has those specific diagnoses. So I kind of felt iffy about that. Earlier editions of the book actually has the Asperger's syndrome printed on the book cover / the dust jacket. So, and then there was some form of backlash over it because people in the Asperger's community didn't like how the main character was portrayed. They said that it was over exaggerated, that it was very stereotypical, and it gave people with Asperger's syndrome a bad reputation. Anyway, so that's why I felt kind of weird reading this book. So yeah, I am 58% of the way in, but I think I'm gonna DNF this because I'm just really not enjoying it. But I have to replace this book since this is my book for Read a Book with a Red Cover, which is part of the character creation prompts, which are, like, I guess, required. I think I'm gonna replace this book with Where Dreams Descend. So now that I've decided to DNF Curious Incident, I need to move on to my next book, which is The Love Hypothesis. So this is my read a book that is set in a school prompt. So I'm gonna be reading this one. Quite excited because a lot of people really like it. It's romance. The last romance that I read was Red, White, and Royal Blue, and I really love that. So I can't wait to start reading Love Hypothesis. I will see you when I start reading. Hi everyone, today is January 31st at 1:38 in the morning, and I'm still reading the Love Hypothesis on my Kindle. I haven't been reading as much in the last few days just because I've been doing some work. I edited and uploaded a video on my bookshelf organization, so if you want to check that out, the link will be in the description box and in the cards. Love hypothesis. Okay, so first of all, I enjoy the banter that Adam and Olive have. I like how they're starting to get to know each other in a very sort of casual, conversation centered way. I think their banter is really funny. I love all of their inside jokes and whatnot. I'm still at chapter 8, I think, or 7. I think 8. So it's very early for me. The only thing that I'm kind of like not really enjoying is all of these weird situations that they're getting into. So Olive has his friend Anne, the whole reason why she's doing this whole fake dating thing, and she's just, I don't know, she's just I don't know how it is in American academic culture, like post university academic culture. Her friend Anne is sort of forcing her to do all of these PDA things, like I don't think this is a spoiler, but like sitting on Adam's lap, forcing them to kiss and whatnot. So it's just weird because they're in an academic setting, like they're in a conference with all of Adam's colleagues and everything, and all of Olive grad student colleagues, and then they're just doing all of these weird things. Like, I don't know, I think it's just odd. I don't know if that's normal. I guess American subscribers, let me know if that's normal. The way that it's written, this whole sort of being forced into this fake dating awkwardness, which I like, by the way, just the way that it's done in this book, I'm not really enjoying right now. It feels very high schooly. The way that they're like, oh, you should kiss, you should kiss. I'm like, okay. I'm not really enjoying that part. I'm like, it's taking me out of my immersion. They're in graduate studies, they're in an academic setting, and they're like, you know, not 14-year-olds. It's just weird. But I still have a lot of pages to go, and I think because obviously we're gonna move towards them slowly starting to actually have feelings for each other. I mean, that's how fake dating tropes go. I think I'm gonna enjoy those parts more because it's really more about them getting to know each other and navigating this whole we're already dating for quite some time situation that they found themselves in. So I plan to finish this tomorrow. I'm still gonna read some more tonight before I go to sleep. Please don't kill me in the comments if you love those scenes, but hi everyone. I have not updated the vlog in about 2 days or 1.5 days. I actually finished the Love Hypothesis around 2 days ago, January 31st. Today is 2 a.m. February 2nd, so yeah. I just haven't been in the mood to vlog because I have been breaking out a lot, which is why we're gonna be doing a pack, like a mask today, while I talk to you about the Love Hypothesis. I think I mentioned in the last clip that I enjoy it. I enjoyed the banter between Olive and Adam, but I'm not really enjoying all of the force to prove that we're dating situations that they get put into because it just feels very like high school. I think that's what I mentioned when I updated you last time. I still think that way, but since I finished the book already, I can definitely confirm that the middle part, I really loved it. I enjoyed it so much. Definitely love their banter so much, and I love how you can discover them or get to know them through their conversation. You get to know them as they get to know each other. So I really like that. It feels very natural and organic. In general, the way that they approach their lives, their insecurities about their studies, and their insecurities about themselves, their fears. It feels very realistic that you as a person can actually relate to them. So I really like that part. And then there's this part in romance novels where they misunderstand each other and everything, and I liked how it was approached here. They didn't just, I don't know, come into random conclusions about things and just hated each other for no reason, where you get angry because you just want them to you know, be adults and talk about things. I actually like how not dramatic the whole misunderstanding plot was. Like, yes, there was a misunderstanding because they didn't communicate well, which is, you know, to be expected in like relationships, especially since they're fake dating. The way that it was resolved, the way that, you know, Adam wasn't like this douche person in order to make the conflict, you know, dramatic and everything, and Olive didn't have to be this super stubborn person. They just had their own insecurities, they had their own things that they were worried about, which were very realistic, by the way. I'm trying to talk while putting this on. Not the easiest thing to do, apparently. Overall, I really enjoyed The Love Hypothesis. I think this is also part of like a series, like of STEM theme, like romance novels, because I saw on Goodreads that it was The Love Hypothesis, and then under that it says Love Hypothesis #1. Okay, I think I saw a post on Twitter or Instagram where there's already a book cover, so I think oh my god, look at my face. I think I'm actually going to end this vlog here. It's getting pretty long, and I think I'm gonna take my time with reading the rest of the book. I want to read other books as well, not just my Magical Readathon TBRs. Hi everyone, I was about to end this Magical Readathon reading vlog part 1, but then I remembered that there were choices that you have to make. So in the Magical Readathon, you have this story that she has created, and then you're supposed to pick different choices at certain different points in the story. So I have it all printed here. There are 5 choices that you need to make. I am going to pick a choice for every book that I finish. Since I've already finished 2 books as of recording this, I am gonna read through the stories for the first 2 choices and make my decisions. So we are at our first choice. So the story is that while we were walking into the Novice Path, so I'm gonna show you the map so you have some kind of reference point. So this is the map. So we have been walking from the Novice Path all the way to the Ashthorn tree. Now we're in the tree and we see this very ancient magical tree, and we have 4 choices here. 1, we respect the tree and basically the rules to say not to touch the tree and not to do anything with the trees. The second choice is that we don't mess with the tree at all. There's writing on the tree, by the way, but we copy a few symbols so that we can try to research it later on. And then the third option is the writing doesn't really intrigue you, but there's like whispers that you hear and that intrigues you. So you plan on coming back after dark to meditate and see if you can sort of connect with those whispers. And then finally, you believe that the energy of this ancient is intertwined with your own and meant to be shared. So you will touch the tree, try to figure it out, siphon its energy and power and magic, and sort of learn from it. So those are the 4 options. So now I have to pick one based on the character that I've created. So this is the character that I've created, Kirin. Kirin is an apprentice Elterian from Dark Meadow. My story is that I am traveling all over Etheria, which is the ruins, this one, in order to uncover like any hidden like information, tombs, ruins, whatnot. So I think, given that that is the character that I've chosen, I think this the 4th option. So I think I'm gonna touch the tree. I feel like an evil person, but I am going to touch the tree. So I'm gonna mark that in my choices here. So let's move on to the next choice. I have to keep reading the story that we have here. Okay, so now we're going into the mist. This is... where is the mist? Yeah, Mist of Solitude. It's here, just a blank spot on the map because there is a mist. Yeah, so I'm just seeing things because of the mist. Now I have another choice to make. It says here, you know that the longer you breathe in this mist, the more it will make you see things. It shows you your fears, makes you confront terrors you didn't even know you held. You must get out of here, but you cannot do this with a head full of illusions. What do you do? A. I transmute parts of the nearby mist into solid marbles that fall to the ground. This gives me enough time to push through without being too affected. B. I take the time to analyze and accept my fears until they do not have enough of a mental impact on my journey. C. I conjure a dust devil. What the heck is a dust devil? To help disperse the mist for me to allow me to pass. D. I try to calm my breathing, minimize feedback by closing my eyes and focus on my hands. Establish a connection with the earth. What would Kieran do? I think I'm gonna go with B. Analyze and accepting my fears. So let's pick B. B. Where is that? B. Okay, so those were the two choices for the Novice Path. That was quite fun. It kind of reminds me of those books, I think the Goosebumps books, where you have to make a choice at the end of a specific part of the story and then you go to a different page depending on your choice. So those choose your adventure books. So I'm quite excited to get to the end, but I need to read 3 more books in order to finish this Novice Path. So I think that's gonna be in the next vlog, in the part 2 of the Magical Readathon reading vlog. And with that, I am going to close off this vlog and I will see you in the next video. Bye!